Hi, this is Dhruv.
And this is John, and this week 37 of Dreams Devlog. So, before we start, the question for you guys for this week will be, do you guys even play games? Do you guys still play games? What inspired you, I think, Dhruv, from the very beginning to even start playing games? Well, that's a stupid question. Did playing games actually inspire you to make games?
I don't think so, actually. So originally when we started making games, I just wanted to make something for the phone, I think. I was working with iOS, and so I was making random apps, and I think you were the one that first suggested that, let's make a game. So I was like, sure, let me learn Cocos 2D, which was at that time the big thing. And then we just started making games after that. So I don't know if it was specifically because I played games. It was more just, that was a cool project. It's the coolest thing to work on.
Right, because I feel like if you don't have interest in it, you definitely wouldn't have done it. But it's definitely not the same as playing games inspired you to make games. Because I think, I'm sure because this actually came out from you, but at certain age and certain time, like you just get so tired after work or after family responsibility. When you get home, you don't even have the energy to play games. And I think as I get older, I'm starting to feel that a lot more. Remember, this is what you told me, like a lot of times you just rather watch anime or something. It's relaxing.
Yeah, I'm a total weeb.
or meditate, just to make sure you don't sound too bad.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but actually on 9gag and online, it's the same thing everywhere. People are like, I finally got that job and I made enough money to make that laptop I've always wanted, and I want to play all these games. And by the time you actually have made enough to play those games, you can't play them anymore. There's this one earlier today where it's just he spent 3 years scouring for all the parts, and he can finally play Witcher 3 on max settings. And he got to play it for like 3 hours, then he just never opened it again.
Yeah, I think it's something about once you have it, you don't really appreciate it anymore, I guess. I think also when you play, because we make games, so recently I've been playing a lot of Hollow Knight, as John already knows.
That's actually the main reason how I came up with this topic, because you never play it. You haven't been playing that much, and then when you find something, you're like completely like entranced by it.
Yeah, I think for me, it's really hard to find a good game that I really like and I really appreciate. Now that I'm a game developer, you can, I guess it sounds kind of weird, but I feel like I can now say that I more analyze games when I play them more than I just play them as I used to. So even a game as simple as like Pokemon or whatever, I'll be thinking about, look, they placed this here because this makes sense here, or whatever it is. And there's very rarely a time where I'll play a game and not even think about, that's the design. I think there's very few games, because it's just like League of Legends, for example, where I just play it for the sake of playing. And I think with Hollow Knight, the reason why right now it's really gotten me is because one, their design and their art is amazing. But also, two, the game is one of those few games where after a really long time, I don't just play it thinking about, what's their design, what's the cool thing. I actually play it because I enjoy playing and I want to get further. I want to see what else there is. And it's been a pretty long time where that actually felt like, I'm excited to play a game. And I think that's partially because I'm a game developer and partially because probably just age or just less interest in video games to play them. So,
now that you when you do come, it's funny because now that Dhruv actually, when he comes over, we actually spend around the same amount of time playing Magic than we do playing games. So I wonder,
probably more time playing Magic.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel like maybe that's the natural progression to the next step of life, which sounds kind of sad. I personally been playing a lot of Fallout 4 because I actually think the way they did atmosphere is really good. I think the writing is really, really awesome. There are a good chunk of people on YouTube agree with me, but there are also a lot of people on the general review sites where they dislike the writing. But the point is, I actually, like Dhruv, have been losing a lot of interest in playing some hardcore games. But when there are good ones that come out here and there, I do spend some time playing it. So I just thought this was an interesting topic because so many of my friends, like in my age, they just all stop playing games. They just now I have one friend who used to play like the crazy amount of League. He was like Diamond or something. Now he only plays D&D. He has no time to do anything else because he has to work and all that stuff. And I kind of feel like it's because certain individuals, I think we are one of those, where when you experience flow and you love doing what you're doing and you feel like it's hopeful, it's meaningful, and then when you do something it can lead to a possible better future, that sensation is way more addicting than escapism from video games. And I don't know if that's true for everybody, but that's a hypothesis I have.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good hypothesis. I feel like that's a good point. Especially, I don't know if it's about escapism. It's more just that like when you're playing a game, it's like a progression. You're going from one thing to the other. You feel good by progressing, and I think when I started making games and started programming, it felt like that was the progression. Making the game was the game in a sense. That was the progression. As you get closer and closer, as you finish one thing after the other, that's the ultimate, I guess, progression.
It's a meta game.
Yeah, it's the real meta game.
Well, yeah, that's generally about it. I do just quickly report to you guys what we have been doing. We've been drawing the cards every single day. Well, kind of. We have 5 cards drawn this week, and we're at around 19 out of 100, which is not bad, dude. That's almost like a fifth.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, thanks. And then actually we redid the whole Wharf City. You guys will see it in the clip, or you guys already have seen it in the clip. It's 36 hours in the making. It was like around 20 something hours just spent preparing all this stuff, all the art, and thinking how it's gonna work, and then placing them together, and then around like 8 hours later to place it. It looks super good, and I think it looks good. You guys can check it out. And then Drew's been redoing a lot of the combat system, right? I think that's the next thing we're gonna do before you head off to the trip.
Yeah.
Trip.
Yeah. So that should be about it. And make sure you guys hit that like button if you guys liked the video. And thanks a lot for watching.
Smash that like button.
Smash. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.